Hello everyone, it's me in my hand again. So, a lot of people are asking me where my old videos has gone, and I actually deleted it off my channel because it kept getting me suspended. But I'll try to bring it back one by one, starting with the osasuna fic. So yeah, thank you for understanding. I hope you enjoyed the video.
So babe, prom's going to be in a few days. We should wear something matchy. We need to be the most well-dressed, so we have to work hard. What do you think should we wear? Suna hums, pretending to be thinking when his mind is actually just drifting away into space, not really paying attention to the phone call while tossing his soccer ball. I don't know, I'm fine with anything. How about white? What do you think? I'm not sure. People might mistake you as someone attending a funeral or something. Or you're the corpse itself. Suna only realizes how stupid he was for not being careful with his humor when 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗆𝘆𝘂𝘂 shrieks into the call. Why are you such a fucking jerk? Suna was startled at his girlfriend's sudden outburst. Look, 𝗵, I'm sorry, I was just joking. I'm not laughing, am I? This what I hate about you. You think you're so funny when literally the only one who laughs at your jokes is that dumb friend of yours who share the same shit humor as you do. Suna frowns, not liking where this conversation is going to. Don't bring Osamu into this, 𝗵. Speaking about that nerd, you're almost always with him these days. You never make time for me. Are you tired of me now? You don't even come to wait for me to end rehearsals now. You're such a useless boyfriend. Suna runs his fingers through his hair, frustrated as he remains passive despite that fact that he seriously wanted to shout at his diva girlfriend for being so irritating and irksome. He's seriously not up for her bullshit today, not when he failed his physics exams earlier because he had to go with her to a party he did not even want to go to yesterday when he could have literally went to his best friend's place for tutoring. So, what are you going to say for yourself? She haughtily demands after her long rant. Suna swears he's now kind of partially deaf for how high-pitched and loud her voice has been. Look, I'm sorry, okay. I honestly didn't really think that joke through. He says with his most sickeningly sweet voice. And for not making time for you, I'm also sorry. I have soccer practice too and the season is ending soon. You know this, 𝗵, you're going to cheer for us after all. There's a silence for a few seconds before she finally sighs daintily. I'm sorry. I've just been so stressed out these days, I'm really sorry for taking it all out on you. I love you, please forget about this. Suna sighs heavily. Alright, it's almost 10 already, have you done your skincare routine? You might break out, you ate something oily. Oh, that's right. Thanks for reminding me. Good night. Without even letting Suna reply, the call ends, leaving him to the silent buzzing. He breathes out heavily once more. He turns his head to the side and just as he does so, he makes eye contact with a familiar pair of eyes from a window just across his. Suna sits up, smiling at his best friend, Osamu. He lives just next door and their windows were right across each other. He's sitting on his bed, smiling at Suna in a comforting manner, his hair still damp with a towel hung across his neck, probably fresh from a shower. Suna watches as Osamu reaches out to his sketchpad and marker, lying just beside his stacks of books and notebooks. He grins lazily and reaches for his own from under the bed, since Osamu probably wanted to say something. Osamu looks up, flashing a questioning gaze as he lifts his sketchpad. You okay? Suna looks down at his sketchpad and writes, he then lifts it up as he frowns cutely. Yeah, just girl drama. Suna writes again. I don't understand, girls think I should get a boyfriend. Osamu laughs, and Suna could almost hear it inside his head, a clear, husky and cute sound that always made him smile unconsciously, which he does now. Suna watches his best friend, waiting for a response, but minutes pass and Osamu only stares at his book. He's probably studying, he shouldn't disturb him. Suna smiles at the studying form of his best friend before he stands up to pull the curtains, he then slumps his back against the glass, his heart already racing at that little interaction. It's been reacting this way to whatever Osamu did ever since he found out that he had feelings for him. Everything would have been easier if Suna just confessed his feelings to him, but he's too chicken to do just that. It was 𝗵 who asked him to be her boyfriend first and he just accepted, hoping he moves on from loving his best friend who has never showed any interest towards him at all. He's never asked, but Osamu is probably as straight as a ruler. Unlike Suna, Osamu's never had a boyfriend as far as he knows, and Suna knows a lot. Suna sighs at his luck as he peeks a bit through his curtain to glance at his best friend for the last time. Much to his amusement, he sees Osamu dancing horrendously to probably some idol group song again before yelling at his twin brother who suddenly barged in his room. What a dork. Suna isn't a fan of dates that 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗆𝘆𝘂𝘂 organizes since they always end up with them being in some person's party where he would always feel out of place, but he has to put up with her even against his will. After slipping on some casual clothes, Suna leaves his house and makes his way down the benches where he told 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗆𝘆𝘂 to pick him up. By the time he reaches the benches, Suna pauses on his tracks when he sees Osamu sitting on the bench, his gray hair more vibrant than yesterday, probably because he dyed them again, while he wears a white shirt underneath a pastel blue polo shirt matched up with plain jeans. The sight didn't fail to make him smile as he walks up to him, heart racing just the slightest bit. Hey, Suna greets as he sits next to him, his eyes catches the movement of something white on Osamu's lap, and it was only then when he notices that there's a cat there. Hey. He lifts the kitten up which looked so tiny in his large hand, he takes his paw and waves it at Suna, then he says in an obnoxious high-pitched voice. Hi Suna-rin. Suna coos slightly and reaches out to rub the kitten, but honestly, the one he really wants to rub is Osamu because he's so adorable, it mules, enjoying the attention from him before the Suna leans back against the bench. Where did you get it? You can't own a pet. Your mom will rage on you and your brother has a dog. Rescued it up from a tree. Sumu honestly wouldn't mind, he likes cats all the same, but yeah, mom won't be happy. I'll go to my cousin and see if he wants to adopt this kitty. He already has 5 cats. But I'm sure he'll take the cutie. Yeah, hopefully. Anyway, what brings you here? You going somewhere? You never usually go out during weekends. Yeah, I have to come with 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗆𝘆𝘂𝘂. Where are you two going? Prom outfit shopping, and it's kind of a date as well. Well, that's interesting. How about you? Who are you taking to prom? I don't plan on going. He glances up at Suna and suddenly smiles a little, he reaches out, leaning in close, a hint of red touches Suna's cheeks as the man leans closer, he only stare, hypnotized with his smile, his expressive eyes, his scent. There's a flower in your hair. Osamu finally leans away, showing him a little flower. Probably fell from a tree. The loud blaring of a horn startles the two of them and the cat. Rintaro. It was 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗆𝘆𝘂. Suna misses the way Osamu glares at the girl as she takes off her sunglasses, she flashes Suna a dazzling smile and gestures at him seductively to come to her. Suna sighs and gives Osamu a helpless look. Osamu purses his lips into a tight-lipped smile and ushers him to go. Suna's heart sinks as he waves at him hesitantly and walks over to his girlfriend's red convertible, he gets in and he's immediately attacked by 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆's soft lips. It doesn't feel right at all. The tension across the field is high as Suna eyes the ball being tossed around at the left side. Screams were loud and overwhelming along with the wild cheering from the cheerleading squad, but all Suna could hear is the sound of his harsh breathing and his heart beating, ringing in his ears. This was the last game of the season and they've made it this far. This game will determine whether their school will keep their winning streak for the last 5 years or not. They have to win this. Suna's team members suddenly get heated up as they run towards the goal with the opponents hot on their heels. He runs, eyeing the ball and occasionally glaring at the giant player from the other team who was blocking his way. Suna. He hears their captain shout at him, he runs forward, but the annoying opponent blocks his path. Get out of my fucking way. He yells in frustration as he begins bounding left to right in an attempt to veer the other player off his sense of direction. The ball flies, and all Suna could do is helplessly stare at it as a player from the other team catches it. Suna glances at his opponent, veins buzzing when he sees that he's distracted. The ball isn't too far from their side, so he swiftly runs around the distracted opponent who had been blocking him. He breathes out, fastening his pace, and when he's finally close enough, he extends his leg and slides across the ground, kicking the ball away from the opponent and enabling his members to get a hold on it. Their offense kicks the ball into the air, then another member headbutts it into the net and goal. Their team captain exclaims as everyone rushes towards Suna, lifting his body up as they make their way towards their side of the bleachers, crowning him as their MVP. Everyone supporting them were off their tops, the band playing a frantic congratulatory tune and the cheerleaders running towards them. As Suna is set back down on the ground, his eyes start to search for his own cheerleader, confused when he doesn't quickly see her because she is usually the one he first notices with her golden locks and her attention-grabbing aura. When he does finally see her, Suna is washed over with confusion when he sees her with another player from his team, his arm around her waist as she flirtatiously talks to him, complete with touching and the close proximity. Annoyed, Suna stalks towards the couple, carefully controlling his temper. He says, "Mew, what are you doing?" The two stop and look to his direction. She raises an eyebrow in her snobby way and eyes him up and down. "Well, hello there, 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗀𝘅𝘂𝘂." She waves at him daintily with her perfectly manicured fingers. "Congratulations." Suna scrunches his eyebrows. "What is this? You cheating on me?" Mew looks at the other player in front of her, back at Suna, and then she breaks out into a fit of giggles. "It's not cheating if we're not together. But we still are together, you never broke up with me." "Well, I am now." Mew smiles at him before turning her attention to the other soccer player. Suna could only shake his head in disbelief as he backs up and runs away, completely annoyed for having to keep up with a dumb bitch like that. Suna-rin. He stops on his tracks when he hears that one familiar voice that he's actually happy to hear. He turns around and smiles at his best friend, who looks so adorable with his school mascot hat and his hoodie which bore Suna's jersey number. "Hey, Osamu pants, probably exhausted from cheering so much. Are you okay?" Suna purses his lips as he scratches his head. "Yeah, probably." Osamu hums, unimpressed. It was stupid to pretend in front of this person who had known him for like his whole life. He'll see right through him so easily. "Yeah, actually, I'm not. I feel so pissed off. My girlfriend just threw me away like trash. We're dating her. You should have known that every man she dates has an expiry date." "I know, but we lasted for 5 months. That's a long time. Now what am I going to do? My suit for prom matches with hers, do I still have to wear it?" "I don't know. Why don't I help you forget about that for a while? Let's grab pizza after you change. You stink." Suna punches Osamu's shoulder, smiling a little as they walk away with his best friend praising him for how cool he looked when he did that sliding thing with his leg. Then he proceeded to ask if he had wounds or something. Suna only smiles as he shakes his head, eyes expressing his gratefulness for Osamu being there for him. Someone like him in his life is enough. Just like this, Suna is contented. Suna sighs as he looks at his own reflection in the mirror. It was prom night, and he's already dressed up in this suit which terribly reminded him of his ex. He didn't have any other choice though. His father's old prom outfit was an option, but it's one that he will never consider. He doesn't look bad at all. If anything, Suna thinks he looks dashing. His hair is slicked back, eyes spiced up with black eyeshadow with matching eyeliner, lips tender with a little lip gloss, and the suit that hugged his figure quite well. But despite this, Suna doesn't feel excited at all. He sits on his bed, glancing out of the window towards his best friend who was on his bed diligently working on something from the textbook. Osamu feels the gazes thrown at him, so he looks up. An instant small smile crosses his lips when he meets eye contact with him. He then reaches for his sketchpad, so Suna does too. "You okay?" "Maybe, quite a bit, I'm fine." "Really now?" "Really. If you say so." A knock comes on Suna's door. He puts his sketchpad down as he yells, "Yeah, 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝘆𝘂𝘂, aren't you coming out yet? Your friends are waiting. I'll be out in a minute." Suna turns to Osamu, who is giving him a questioning look, so he simply shrugs before writing something again. "Are you sure you're not coming?" "No, studying." "Wish you were, it will probably be more fun with you around." Osamu could only smile at him apologetically. Prom is supposed to be making all sorts of unforgettable memories that they will be talking and laughing about in 30 years, but that's not the case for Suna at all. While his friends danced with their partners, he's left alone at the bleachers, drinking punch as if it was alcohol. A couple of people who had been pining for him has asked him to dance, but he declined so partially it was his fault why the night was dragging out on him. He didn't want to be here. Suna throws his cup over his shoulder, hitting an unsuspecting student in the head as he makes his way towards the door. As expected, there were teachers there guarding, and when he comes close enough, they narrow their eyes at him and were about to tell him how it's not allowed to leave, but Suna speaks first. "Can I go home?" Suna tries his best to look as constipated as possible, but at the same time as if he was trying not to show his pain like most people would in real life. "I may have eaten something and my stomach hurts." Since it's absolutely inconvenient to have a student fainting, vomiting, or shitting during prom, the teachers have no choice but to let Suna go. As he walks down the hall, he supports himself by leaning against the wall, constantly grunting and groaning to let the teachers know how much he's struggling. Once he's out of sight, Suna stands up and runs down the hallway towards freedom. Upon exiting the school, Suna is faced by another dilemma. It was late into the night and there aren't any transportation to help him travel home at all. But the good chill of the night coaxes him into submitting for an adventure, and so, Suna starts walking, letting his feet drag him wherever they would take him. Lots of shady people might get their hands on him, but he didn't care about it much. He's quite strong and can kick their balls goodbye, so he's not really worried for himself because he can handle it well. As Suna walks on, he gets himself lost in some part of town that he did not recognize. He's a homebody despite his popularity. He looks around for a while and continues on walking, trying to find a path that led back to the road but doesn't find it at all. Where the fuck even am I? He mutters to himself as he fishes his phone out and tries to contact his friends to come pick him up, but the signal is low, so he lifts the device up to catch at least 2 bars. Suddenly, strong lights shine on the brunette, blinding for a moment. He lifts an arm over his eyes, squinting to take a closer look as to where the light is from. Stay where the fuck you are. What the fuck? He curses, startled, when he sees a bunch of men on motorcycles a few meters ahead. He quickly backs up on his heels and turns around, running away despite the warning. The motorcycles roared to life and went after him. Was he going to die? Who are those people even? Why are they even chasing after him? Those were the questions that Suna had in mind, but he didn't want to stick around for long to know the answer. Suna. He looks over his shoulder, terrified all the more when one of the men calls out to him. He scrambles away, glancing over his shoulder to make sure he was a safe distance away from them, but at one point, he doesn't see the steps in front of him, so he stumbles down, cursing as he falls on his butt. Suna, what the fuck? He scrambles up to his feet to run again, but a black, sleek motorbike appears in front of him. He eyes the man mounted on it in fear and he steps back to run, but discovers that the others had surrounded him. What the hell do you want from me? He hears the man in front of him sighs before he takes off his helmet and shakes his head. Suna's jaw slacks when he discovers who it is. What the hell do you want from me? He hears the man in front of him sighs before he takes off his helmet and shakes his head. Suna's jaw slacks when he discovers who it is. Kita. His eyes were wide as he stares at the school's student council president. He can't believe what he was looking at. The gentle but passively aggressive Kita Shinsuke was right in front of him, dressed up in leather with his hair all messy. He looks so different that he almost could not recognize him if not for those piercing eyes and his dual-toned hair. How did you get here? Weren't you at prom? Why, yeah, I got bored. Suna hesitantly replied, still in disbelief as he points at the other male. But Kita, you. Who is this person, Kita? Kita glances at someone from behind him. Ah, it's just someone from school who got lost, Aaron. Suna turns around to see that the other bikers have taken their helmets off. Suna's surprised to see that most of them looked young and there were familiar faces from school. Oh, it's Suna Rintaro. What a lovely surprise. Hey, why are you here, Suna Rin? Someone asks, and this time, Suna is more shocked to see who it was. Atsumu, why are you here? Mom's out of town for a month and dad's cool. But you didn't answer my question. Does your brother know about this? The blonde only shrugs. Samu is another story. And you still haven't answered my question. Why aren't you dancing the night away with your bitch of a princess? Suna scowls. We broke up, and prom is boring. So you think venturing into unknown and shady territory is a better alternative? You're wild, Suna. He could only scratch his head sheepishly. Well, we have a little contest coming up that is taking place in our private track. Want some thrill tonight? Be the prize. Aaron, that's a bit. I think it's nice. Suna Rin will definitely enjoy the night. I'm not sure, but it sounds interesting. Cool. You can ride with Atsumu, the track isn't that far off. Here, Yago. Atsumu hands him his helmet. What about you? Suna asks as he gets on behind his friend. I won't throw us off track, if that's what you're worried about. I'm worried about your goddamn head, it needs protection. I don't have any other protective equipment here besides a condom, so shush son Aaron, put it on and hold on tight to me. We're going fast. Suna does as he's told, he clutches onto the other's leather jacket and when he senses that he's ready, Atsumu revs the engine up and zooms away. Slow down, what the hell? I'm going to fucking die. Stop whining like a little pig. Atsumu yelled before laughing as he throws his head back and relinquishes the cool air slapping his face. I'm gonna kill you. Throughout the ride, Suna's pressed up against Atsumu's back, eyes shut while muttering prayers to the heavens to let him live through this day and not die yet. He still wants to spend the weekend over at Osamu's house playing video games and eating the days away. Suna wouldn't have noticed that they've reached their destination when Atsumu didn't shake him off and yell at him that they've arrived. Irritatedly, Suna takes off the helmet, opening his eyes just to widen even more when he's struck by awe at the whole place. Welcome to the Foxes Club's private track. Atsumu proudly says, spreading his arms out. You're in for a great time. Suna looks around, sees that the others have crowded around with other bikers, indulging in chatter. Come on, I'll introduce you the others. Atsumu says, taking Suna's wrist to pull him towards the clump of people. Hey guys. Atsumu greets and everyone looks towards their direction. Who's the pretty suited up friend of yours? This is Suna Rin, a good friend of a couple of us. He's the prize for tonight's little contest. Oh wow, Mia's in for a treat. Suna did not know what that meant, but the amused grin across Atsumu's face makes him a bit nervous. Who the hell is this Mia anyway? Is he some sort of relative close to Atsumu? I'm Oikawa, by the way. A pretty man introduces himself, taking Suna's hand in his. I'm glad you're friends with Atsumu. He's not good at making ones, he turns people off more than attract them. Kawa. Atsumu warns him, which Oikawa only laughs off. So anyways, this cutie right over here is Kenma, that pretty boy over there is Akashi, you already know Aaron and Kita, and this is Shuga, our club head. Suna could only bow his head slightly at each person he's introduced to, not knowing what to say since he's as antisocial as someone considered popular in school can get. In the midst of chatter, Oikawa suddenly stops talking as he looks over Suna's shoulder. The sound of engine roaring signifies the arrival of another person, so out of curiosity, he turns, just to see another biker enter the scene. He wasn't wearing a helmet, so Suna could see the biker wearing a pair of sunglasses, a black face mask and with a mop of curly black hair. Oh, Sakusa is here. The man named Sakusa gets off his motorbike, coolly takes off his sunglasses, slipping it into his jacket pocket and pulled his mask down. What surprised Suna even more is when Atsumu walks up to him and wraps his arms around the man's neck and pulls him into a deep kiss. The man placed his hand around Atsumu's waist, pulling him closer before pulling away after a few seconds. Do you have alcohol? I feel dull. Later, Omi-kun, when the contest ends. We can't have you hazy when you're driving. Would have preferred a buzz in my system. Sakusa finally notices Suna. Who's that behind you, Sum? Oh. Atsumu suddenly grabs Suna's wrist, causing him to let out a startled yelp. This is Suna Rin, the prize for tonight. Sakusa shrugs. Good enough, do you know how to cook? Yeah, then if I win, you'll have to cook anything I want. Then, Sakusa's eyes veer off and settles on someone at the back. A small smirk crosses his lips as he lifts his hand. Oh, Mia. Suna follows the eyes of the others. He didn't hear a single thing, but there was a newcomer. This person was mounted on a classy white motorbike, his outfit that consists of an eye-catching white leather jacket, ripped jeans, boots and white helmet matching well with the vehicle. There's something familiar about the figure, but Suna couldn't pinpoint it. Only when the person took off his helmet did Suna realize why that was so. Am I dreaming? Suna mutters to himself as messy gray hair comes into view along with the face of his best friend, Osamu. Why was he seeing Osamu on this person's face? Time seems to slow down as Suna stares at the person, Osamu, who doesn't seem like Osamu. Tilts his head up, brushing his fingers through his hair as little droplets of sweat flies to the air. The man scrunches his eyebrows, then he gets off his motorbike. It was weird how Suna's so hypnotized with him. Osamu, fashionably late as ever. Akashi said as he lifts his fist, which Osamu pumps with his own. Samu. He heard that right, didn't he? Akashi called him. The gray-haired man looks at him at the mention of his name and then at Atsumu. Why is he here? He got lost, so we brought him here. Aaron suggests he becomes the prize and he strangely agreed to it. Osamu nods absent-mindedly. Well, should we start the contest? I'm a little impatient. Seems like he has his eyes on the prize. Oikawa, mine to start it now. Looks like he's pretty fired up. Omi-kun, are you nervous? Atsumu asks teasingly. Sakusa rolls his eyes and pinches the other's cheek. I'm not. I would prefer it better if you were the prize though. Atsumu blushes a healthy red. Just shut up and try to look like you're at least motivated. The crowd disperses to proceed to the safe audience zone. Before following everyone, Suna runs towards Osamu and grabs his hand, familiar and warm. Samu. He turns to Suna and raises an eyebrow. Yeah, what do ya need? What's going on? Suna asks, confused. And you, are you really my Samu? You don't completely know anyone, Suna Rin, even yourself. Samu mutters, hard eyes boring into his. So let me just win this so I can have you all to myself. Osamu gives him a last scorching look before making his way back to his bike, leaving Suna's face heat up and his brain fizzling because what the fuck? That was hot. Okay, 𝗁𝗂𝘂 yelled into the microphone, earning glares from his friends. This is the most awaited showdown between Sakusa and Mia. Well, not really, just started already. Atsumu yelled from the sidelines. Shut up, Atsumu, this is my time to shine. So anyway, the prize will be the hand of our lovely Suna-rin. You can do anything to him, just make sure it's consensual. I'm looking at you, Mia Osamu, I'm serious. And Atsumu, learn how to cook so your boyfriend doesn't go asking the prizes to cook for him every damn time. Shut your trap already. 𝗁𝗂𝘂, I'll stop giving you the MC position if you continue blabbering up there. Okay. Sheesh. Get ready. Suna looks at the bikers poised at the starting line. 3, 2, 1, start. Suna's mouth drops as he watches them zoom down the track at an amazing speed. He was too quiet as they makes their rounds around the track. I can't believe he's my best friend that I've known for years. How many things is he hiding from me? Osamu likes the thrill, ya know. I introduced him to it and we started racing since we were 16. It's just how it had always been. Suna only nods, amazed as they continue zooming around. When they finally finish, everyone simply claps their hands as if it wasn't much of a shock at all. They're fucking insane. And our winner is Mia Osamu. Damn, he really did his best for the prize. And, oh my god, Sakusa, stop making out with Atsumu, at least look like you're sad because you lost. 𝗁𝗂𝘂 announces, watching with heavy criticism, and the white-clad biker zooms past the tracks and stops in front of Suna. He takes off his helmet and tosses it to him, barely even catching it. Wear it and get on. He hesitantly clutches onto Osamu's white leather jacket. Osamu tenses, before he grabs Suna's hands, pulling him closer to him and wraps his arms tightly around his waist. You're going to fall off like that, Rin. Suna's blushing, having no idea why he's so flustered when he's been in more intimate positions with his best friend before. He's caught up in the way his heart's racing and the feel of Osamu in his arms, not even aware of the fact that Osamu had revved his engine up and they sped away to wherever he plans on taking him. At this point, Suna doesn't care anymore.